9 through 14, and in your Pew Bible is 1262. A Pharisee and a tax collector. Jesus told a story to some people who thought they were better than others and who looked down on everyone else. Two men went into the temple to pray. One was a Pharisee and the other a tax collector. The Pharisee stood over by himself and prayed, "God, I thank you that I am not greedy, dishonest, and unfaithful in marriage like other people. And I am really glad that I am not like that tax collector over there. I go without eating for 2 days a week and give you 1/10 of all I earn." The tax collector stood off at a distance and did not think he was good enough even to look up toward heaven. He was so sorry for what he had done that he pounded his chest and prayed, "God, have pity on me. I am such a sinner." Then Jesus said, when the two men went home, it was the tax collector and not the Pharisee who was pleasing to God. If you put yourself above others, you will be put down. But if you humble yourself, you will be honored.
Amen.
Spirit just spoke to me. I was going to go in a different direction. Those of you who know me know that I'm not fond of the Pharisees, okay? They were like the super orthodox, like always pointing the finger at people, especially in religious matters, in their habits. They were so big in what was called the holiness code. You had to do things just a certain way. You had to wash your dishes a certain way, you had to wash your hands a certain way. You could only sit with certain kinds of people. I mean, they were always looking to see people mess up. It was just like, oh, goody, goody, I got you. And, you know, it was really easy for me now to be judgmental about them, right? You know those kind of people that are always looking at people and trying to find something wrong with them. And it's true. They are especially the verbal bullies that we all went to school with. If you were too tall, too short, too fat, too skinny, didn't wear the right clothes, didn't wear the right shoes, didn't hang out with the right crowd, didn't live in the right neighborhood, you got judged, right? And especially in that, well, we used to call it junior school. In that age group in particular, you got a lot of judgment. They thought your parents were weird. They thought that your brother or sister was different. You knew about it. And so I think we all grew up with verbal bullies, right? They didn't like you. And I don't know that it would make them feel that much better if they could, you know, point to you and say, "Hey, ew, she's awful. Look at her. Oh, look at that skirt." They didn't wear skirts back then. They were showing my age. Ew, look at that color. Oh, terrible. I dress much better. I'm a fashion plate. But the thing is, it hit me right now about where we can point the finger at the people that are judgmental. And Jesus said, don't go around judging, you know, because when you judge them, you can't see your own mistakes, right? Basically, that's what he said. But haven't we all been judgmental? Now, I don't want to show hands or anything like that. I just want you to think in your heart about things you may have done, even though you think that you're not judging them. Think, have you ever criticized anybody's housekeeping?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't say maybe I wanted an answer. Criticize somebody's driving habits. Criticize somebody's hygiene. Criticized who some of their friends, a person whose friends they may have that you don't like.
Yes.
Criticize criticize your boss.
Yes.
Criticize co-workers.
Yes.
You know, just think of all the things. We're all a bunch of Pharisees, people. You know, because it's so easy to point our fingers toward them, right? Because they're so obvious. I'm better than you are. Look at all the money I give to the church. I mean, in their case, it was the temple. You know, look at, and I fast 2 days a week. I bet you do. I bet you pig out. Ooh, you know about it. But think about it. We're all guilty of being a bunch of Pharisees. And the thing is, what did Jesus tell us? Don't go around judging people. Because if you do that, what's going to happen is that then you miss looking at yourself and taking your own personal inventory. Isn't that right, really? It's true. It's so easy to criticize them and to not look at yourself. The thing is, we all need to be humble with each other. No one that I know is so perfect. I don't know anybody here. Me, I'm the number one. I cannot walk on water, okay? Cannot do it. Wouldn't think of even trying, okay? So, I know I have a lot of faults. But then when you start talking about other people's habits, because I don't like her housekeeping, because I think mine was a little bit better, see? So then I can feel good about my housekeeping, which is really not the best in the world, but a little bit better than somebody else's. So then I don't have to come clean with my stuff, right? And we can do that with everything. We can criticize somebody's playing of a musical instrument, somebody's singing voice. You can go on and on and on. So what you're basically saying is, his voice isn't that good, so that or mine is better. You really are. That's what you're doing. And the thing is, I know why Jesus told this story. Because he didn't want people to think that just because they followed the law outwardly, and their heart was just full of judgment and evil contempt for people, that this is what their faith was about. He wants to remind all of us that we're not supposed to go around pointing the finger at each other and putting ourselves above. Because he talked about people that are humble will be raised up. But people who think they're way up there are going to get put down. They are. They're going to get home themselves. So I think this story that Jesus told is really a reminder to all of us. We've all been guilty of being Pharisees. We've all judged other people, even though we don't like people doing that to us. We've all done it. And that's why this is kind of like a refresher course that he's giving us to remind us we're all in this together. We're all human. We're all children of God. And oh yes, we all make mistakes. But let's look at each other with a little more generosity and love. And I can guarantee you we'll